Hello, YouTube and X. It's your main man, BTM here, bringing you back to the BTM Crypto News Network. And today we're back talking about Zebec or ZBCN. So let me know what you guys see or what you've been looking at. So I wanted to come live and tell you I think the dip is in. I think the price is going to start pumping pretty soon. What up, Silver Days XRP? Yeah, I was trying to find your user for X and I saw a classic. What is this? Classic something. Okay, here we go. That is weird. Why does it? Can't find your YouTube handle. And I'm trying to add you as a moderator, but that guy does not come up. This user is not found. I've added everyone else, but I can't seem to find you in the search. Oh, let me try something else here. Let me see if this is it. That's weird. Yeah, it doesn't I don't know. We'll figure it out later. No worries. But I just wanted to come on and reassure all the Zebec holders. Wow. And all the Zebec army. This is normal. It is called retracement, right? This is when you find out who has convictions in the project, right? This is when it pulls back and eventually it starts to bounce back. I've been watching it all week and weekend, looking for a good entry point, and I think this is a really good point. It's coming down for us to pick it up. And if people were on the sideline waiting to see when to get in, now would be a good time to get in. This is not financial advice. This is just for entertainment purposes. And there is a big announcement coming next week, right? So this is a good time to get in before the price takes off. And if some of you are new to crypto or haven't been in the crypto game long, there's always a massive pullback before things take off, right? And just between me and you, I think there's some manipulation going on. The whales are selling off because they know they're going to buy in as the price goes down. They sell and you sell, and the price goes down. They wait. I mean, just like I did, to as far down as possible. Then you buy everything you sold off, right? So basically, you bring your price average down and you get more for your money, right? So when things do take off, you just reloaded at the bottom. And that would definitely be a way for you to make a pretty good amount of money, right? If you load at the bottom and bring the price comes back to where it was, you're going to make whatever you put in and you can take out that initial investment and just ride it all the way up. So you can see here on the day chart, on the week chart, the low point was 0073. And I think I got back in at 0028 or 29. And my original price was 00 what was it? 003. My average was like 0032 or something. I got in a lot at the 007 and then it bounced back up. Hey, no, I got back in at the 0007 and then it bounced up and it pulled my average up. So now I bought back in to pull my average back down. So if it gets back to 7 cents, we're already ahead of the game. So this is the hour chart, was at the 0029. On the day, the low was 00703. And for the week, it's 002732. I think that was 00273, right? And now it's almost back at the 003. And I think, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, cats and dogs, hopefully the bottom is in and we'll start to push up. Let's look at the market. You can see the market as whole is down. Bonk is up 9.6. Metal is up 6.1. Ethereum is up 0.3. Mr. Miggles is up 0.5. Powell's up 1.6. Mudan is up 3.6. Sui's up 0.8. Spell's up 0.4. XPX 6900 is up 0.4. AIZ 16Z is up 3.2. XPR is up 2.3. Arch Block is up 6.2. Quant's up 1%. ALI is up 2.3. AIXBT is up 2.6. XDC is up 3.5. HBAR is up 0.4. Cardano's up 0.3. Brett's up 0.2. Toshi's up 1.9. Flocky's up 0.7. AVAX is up 0.3. Pepe's up 0.4. Shib's up 0.5. And the rest of the market is down, right? Everything else is down. And where is Bitcoin? Bitcoin is up 0.1 on the day. So one of the other key things is if Bitcoin is dominating the market, it's hard for the altcoins to push because people are selling their altcoins and buying Bitcoin. And I came across an investment group that is allowing people to invest in Bitcoin by taking out loans. So let me know what you guys think about that. What do you feel about it? Just your quick thoughts in the comments. So let's go back over to X. Before we get to X, I saw this article. Zebec in Japan, real-time payroll meets the rising sun. This is from May. Crypto fintech writer, blockchain journalist, technical writer. By the time you finish reading this, someone in Tokyo will have received a second-by-second paycheck through the blockchain. And a national functionality scarce. Tradition runs deep, and trust must be earned, not demanded. Zebec has stepped boldly into the spotlight. While most crypto projects scramble for relevance in a increasingly saturated DeFi landscape, Zebec took a route straight to Japan, not a speculative token, but as a solution. In 2024, Zebec launched the real-time Web3 payroll infrastructure in Japan, introducing tech-forward systems that allow salaries to be streamed every second. Initially, well, literally, rather than lumped into bi-weekly or monthly payments, this initiative tailored a specifically for Japan's stringent financial regulations. And not only is meticulous business culture, but one of the most underreported yet transformative integrations in Web3 this year. So with that being said, let's go over to X. And this is the article we just read. Card swipe type fades ZBCN isn't noise, it's infrastructure. So this is XRP and ZBCN community has requested over and over to review the project. I did a deep dive, but it's really more of a medium dive. There's a lot to unpack with Zebec, but overall, I like what I'm seeing. So let's start this
Zebec
video
deep
real
dive.
quick.
What we know.
And if you notice, when the price is down, you see who's really with you, right? Like there's an old saying, uh, when it's stormy out or when it gets dark, you see who's really with you. And this is for all the Zebec army and the holders and the people that are really with Zebec, right? When things get tough, the tough get going. So you see who's really about the project. So let me see if we got the volume here. And let's play this real quick.
Zebec deep dive. What we know, what we
Let me see, it's kind of low. I don't know if you guys can hear that. See if we can get some volume here. It's up. Why is this weirdness happening with my sound always? All right, that's up. That's up. So we'll see if we can do a browser booster. See if this helps any.
don't. Now, I'm not here to tell you that Zebec is a scam, and I'm not saying it's 100% legit either. This is just everything I found so far so you can decide. Let's start with verified partnerships, confirmed by the actual partners. Circle officially lists
Trying to get the volume a little higher, guys. Give me a second.
Zebec in its partner directory. That's a solid confirmation from one of the biggest names in crypto. Uphold also recognizes Zebec as a partner. Their site confirms support for the ZBCN token, and they've collaborated on an airdrop. Now, here's where things start to raise red flags for me. Zebec had some kind of deal or partnership with White Rock, a project that is widely suspected of being a scam. At one point, Zebec even claimed that White Rock was backed by World Liberty Financial. That claim was denied by World Liberty Financial's own co founder, Zach Witkoff. And Zebec had to apologize and delete their post on this, which I do respect them correcting their own errors. I do respect that. But for me, supporting false partnership claims like that, especially from a sketchy project like White Rock, is the number one reason I'm concerned about Zebec. Zebec also claimed that they are part of Visa's FastTrack program, but Visa has never confirmed this as far as I can tell. And it seems that there may be multiple claims that Zebec has put out there that are yet to be verified. But then again, like I said in the beginning, Zebec does have real partners, big ones too, Circle and Uphold. And they've both verified these partnerships in their own posts on their own websites. But it seems that the big concern with the community right now is with Sam Thapalia, the founder of Zebec, who is under scrutiny for his past associations in crypto. I'm going to do more research on this. But on the surface, what I was able to research today, I'm not seeing this repeated rug pull scammer guy that people are claiming. But until I get more information and I dive deeper, I'm going to just leave my opinion at that for now. So right now, it's just a mixed bag. It's really up to you to decide, so do your own research. I'm just trying to lay it out objectively for now. Wealth, love, and authenticity to you all.
Okay, so I guess we might need to do a research into this guy as well. Let me know what you think about it. You think it's worth it? Or are you still confident about the project? I personally don't think this guy is a notorious um, rug pull, right? Because we would have heard about it by now. Let me know what you guys think about it in the comments. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe and super chat, and we'll keep it moving. Let me see what we got here. Trying to do something in the background. The network building the best payroll system ever on the blockchain, real-time currency conversion, payments, loyalty, rewards, Zebec cards, and more. Super. Let's freaking go, the Zebec army. Let's see, is there sound here? Yeah. This is today. Circle mints another 250 mil, which I already talked about, in USDC on Solana. I'm telling you guys, the way things are playing out, this is kind of setting up for something big, right? Initially, they're going to tell you something's wrong, it's not working, there's a scandal, just to get you to sell. And when it gets down to a certain point, these guys are going to start buying it up like crazy, right? But they're waiting to get down to this number before it starts to take off, right? Private credit Sam has discussed how getting paid by the second to give you access to significantly more credit than traditional finance could offer. The acquisition of GateNot allows businesses to investigate transactions and documents on chains, essentially a credit app. But even more than that, it could be used for auditing, due diligence, and process for acquisitions. They are building to offer businesses a report tool to use, thrown in partnerships with Merrill as well. Zebec is teething up to offer not only business services as well as consumers, but they are building to offer bank services as well. I still think white is legit. I'm holding it. Call me crazy. All right, Tommy, what up? Big shout out to Tommy S. I don't know, guys. I hadn't even read that deep into the white situation yet, but it appears um white is holding, right? It's not, is it? So it's 00, wait, 008 down to 003. So it didn't crash all the way out. Considering the owner CEO, uh, considering the owner CEO or whoever got arrested by freaking uh Interpol, right? So this is a huge thing for them to be holding. I don't know if these guys are innocent or guilty. That remains to be seen, but we will see, right? The truth always comes out. Let's watch this video real quick on MSN.
Tokenization is an innovation, and we at the SEC should be.
Why does this freaking sound acting up today? Close this out. Check this to see what is up with the browser. I don't know why this one of these browsers is weird. Which one is the browser? Okay, let's close this out. Let me see. Boost gets kind of crazy sometimes. Sometimes it works. Sometimes it doesn't. Let me see.
Focused on how do we advance innovation in the marketplace. And so I would argue here over the last several years, the SEC has been standing athwart efforts to innovate in the marketplace because things have been unclear. The rules have not been clear. We've had regulation through enforcement. That day is over. We are now, my whole goal is to make things transparent, from the regulatory aspect, and give people a firm foundation upon which to innovate and come out with new products, and so that they know what they're doing.
I think there are two things to think about, Andrew, and that's tokenization of U.S. stocks,
Right.
which is one thing which could drive a lot of cost savings for all parties.
I'm not against tokenization. I think
settlement
if
times
you wanted
would be
to, you're
reduced.
talking about if you wanted to tokenize
tokenizing
SpaceX, which is a private company.
And then there's also an access to private credit, I think you were mentioning, which is a complete individual investor access to private credit, which is also another sort of tricky area in that this is also, as you mentioned, it's not as much liquidity. Valuations are very difficult, particularly I would imagine for an individual investor. I mean, there are a lot of things that here that are new frontiers for investors Where do you stand on that?
Well, two questions. So as far as tokenization and other innovations in the marketplace to make trading and holding securities easier and with quick settlement, my predecessor pushed for what we call T+1, meaning settlement and clearance the day after the trade, the trading day. And so tokenization and other aspects of doing that tokenization in the marketplace is yet the next step to have much more efficiency in the marketplace and certainty of having a trade settle.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. What is up for shot? This morning, I bought the biggest bag of Zebec of the year at 0027. I'm super bullish. Good afternoon, fam. Thanks for the super chat for shot. And you're right. I waited since Thursday and I bought a bag this morning right before it started going up. I think it went up to 0030, I think, and came back down to 002129, I guess. So keep it. We'll look at the numbers in a minute. Don't believe Sam about Visa. Okay, maybe you'll believe Solana. So actually, I think I have this up already. No, this is another one. This is a older article. Waiting for it to pull up. So this is Visa enlists Zebec to its FinTech FastTrack program. Solana-based continuous cash stream protocol as it has incubated into Visa's prestigious program. Zebec has become the first Solana-based protocol to be part of Visa's FinTech FastTrack program. The announcements made in January 5th as a continuous and programmable cash stream protocol on Solana's blockchain got inducted into Visa's prestigious program. Previously graduates the program are Stripe, Chime, and Crypto.com, all who have grown to become highly successful. Right? You're welcome. No problem. But yeah, that's kind of how things go, right? There's an announcement. It's quiet. The pullback happens. People FUD it. They start selling. And then these guys come in, right? The whales get together and be like, okay, we're going to pull all our money out. Let this drop. Let all the weak hands sell because they think it's going to crash. And they're taking the price down as low as possible before they buy in deeper, right? It's just how crypto works. This is the level of faith Zebec technology we must have. 10 years from now, will payroll be on chain? Will it be streamed by the second? It's not what you see today, it's what you believe tomorrow. See around the corner, that's how wealth happens. And he is 100% right. On this day, exactly 14 years ago, Bitcoin flash crashed from 17 to below 001. If you bought $100 of Bitcoin during that crash, it'd be worth 1.4 billion. Man, oh man. Hope you had a good 4th of July, brother. Yes, I'll be getting more Zebec. Not financial advice. This is just for entertainment purposes. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, cats and dogs. Let's forget Zebec had made history becoming Solana's first project to be accepted into Visa FinTech FastTrack program. How Zebec will benefit from Visa's FastTrack. This Zebec is the first continual programmable stream on Solana. This makes Zebec the first Solana program accepted into the Visa program, which supports initiatives, startups revolutionizing digital payments. Multi-leading fintech companies have participated, including Stripe, Chime, and Crypto.com. So moving forward, stop the FUD. Here's what's most missing. It solves real-time problems. Crypto is instant. Payroll isn't. Zebec enables streaming payroll that you literally get paid every second in USD, USDT, or even tokenized fiat. No delays, no banks, just consistent flow. And I would almost go to the point where maybe the banks bought up a lot to dump it to get you guys to sell so they could buy even more. Retail investors, there are games being played, right? You got to continue to diamond hand and hold on. Don't listen to FUD. Don't get distracted. Don't fall into these traps that they're setting up. Because I think that announcement, diamond hand, got a diamond hand. I think those announcements coming next week will definitely boost the price, right? And that's how they get you. They pull the price back, buy it up cheap, and when it runs, they're going to make a whole lot more because the price is down. And when the news happens, they're going to buy it up. What's the saying? Buy the rumor, sell the news, right? So they're selling the rumor, right? So people will drop. Then when the news comes out, people are going to FOMO in, and we stand to make a little money there, right? Had a great 4th of July and ended up talking to a few of my neighbors about Zebec. One of my neighbors ended up buying 500 on Uphold last night. Bought at 29, 28, and 27, 0069. So where are we looking? Currently it's the 0029. So it's back down 2%, but it's been back and forth all weekend. See, last 7 days. You can see it finally peaked down at the 0072, came up to the 003 and came back down. So we'll check that on the trader view in a minute. Let's finish this. Already live in 100 countries. Zebec cards working in over 100 countries. 8,000 plus cards issued. Tied to real time on chain. Balance, multi-chain, regulation friendly. Built on Solana, expanding Stellar, Binance Chain, and Ethereum. Aligned with USDC, PYUSD. I don't know what that is. ISO compliant rails, targeting real companies and actual use cases, not just traders. U.S. Treasury and payroll angle massive. With the partners like Circle, Stellar, and Uphold, Zebec is positioning to become the on-chain payroll solution. Think Stripe meets ADP, but centralized, decentralized, and borderless. So that means you could pay payroll in other companies. Oh yes, I was talking to somebody. That reminds me. Let me see. Increase my bags on VO, CSPR, and loan processing. Also, I was looking at loan processing on what is that? Web Authority. I'm just waiting to get approved so I can buy over there. Zebec project is amazing. That's why I feel comfortable with my investment and keep buying the dip. Eat the dip, Farhan. Was it Farshad? Farshad? Eat the dip, ladies and gentlemen. Boys and girls, still under radar. Zebec is trading under 004 micro cap, but built multi-billion-dollar potential in B&B fintech. It adoption catches the upside is exponential. So yeah, I got sidetracked. So yeah, I was talking to someone. I was telling them about Zebec, right? And he mentioned he had worked for Mohawk. And he says Mohawk is a large flooring company, I guess. And he says with Mohawk, they pay you in advance, right? So he was like, something like streaming payroll would be awesome. So he was like, they don't have to worry about payrolls and sending checks and cutting people since they pay you in advance. So streaming payroll would be perfect, right? Because as people come and go and get fired, you're only going to pay them for when they're actually working, right? Instead of you cutting a check for 2 weeks in the hole, if you can start paying people as soon as they get signed up, maybe a day or two delay versus waiting. Someplace I worked at, I waited like 3 weeks to get the first check, right? And if he's saying within a couple of days you can start streaming their checks, right? They're more likely to work and they're probably going to work longer, right? If they see your check getting streamed and they ask you for overtime, heck yeah, I'm going to work overtime. And I know I'll get the overtime later that day or within hours, bro. I'd work all day and night, long as the meter's running, bro. No surrender. Shout out to Zebec 365. No surrender, Zebekians. Fight for Zebec to the last standing. To the last stand. IMO. Zebec is about to change forever and for the good. Let's freaking go. ZBCN. I will stay in the fight all the way to the end. I stand with Zebec. Dear Creighton or Kraken FX, will you please let us ZBEC holders know if you have any plans on listing ZBCN in the near future? If no, please make a statement. We will greatly appreciate it. Let's go ZBCN. So this is ISO 222 doesn't even start for a couple of weeks. I believe they fully transition by November. How can you survive this long but sail now? Of course, FUD monsters will come and play. So we're so close. Know what you hold. And of course, Diamond Hand, ladies and gentlemen. Farhan, actually. Farshad. I'm going to call you Far, right? Don't mess your name up. Far. After my XRP, my biggest bag is ZBIC, then H bar, then XLM. What up, King Pound? Let's go, Zebekians. So this is about a month ago. I posted that ZBCN, ZBEC, would pump and dump scam and confirm where all those players telling me they did research. It's gold, great project, great leadership. Where are y'all, bro? I don't know what this guy's even talking about, but we will see. Right? Time will tell if it starts to pump back up or continues to drop. So this is everyone out here panicking over here, hoping I can still get the same deal on Thursday so I can buy more. ZBEC is my biggest investment in my retirement. You have until 2030 with me, no matter what, to be a successful investor. You need patience. Growth takes time. So let's see here. I believe in ZBEC, even though ZBEC continues to go down. Who knows what will come? Conviction is everything. 10 cents by the end of the year. Buy, buy, buy. It's not financial advice, but I'm definitely telling you guys, you want to get in, especially if there's a dip, guys. Eat the dip. It's not financial advice. This is just for entertainment purposes. So this is ZBCN. My thoughts on the matter. ZBN compilations. What's up, crypto heads? There has been a lot of talk in the space about big wallets taking profits right now and causing this. And there's no rest of the article here. That's awesome. What other currencies have made as much noise in the space as Zebec with 231 million market cap? We're not even close to where we're headed. Just breathe. So yeah, relax, guys, and calm down. People are going to take profits. Got in super early. Patience will be key. Correct there, King Pound. 231 million market cap, 19.5 million in 24-hour trading volume. Biggest FUD buster of them all. It's a Telegram. This is a Telegram. Circle verifies member eligibility, ensuring to maintain proper license and ALM compliance. Circle verifies their members, I would imagine, Uphold and Dr. Martin Hasselbeck has done his fair share, for sure, of research as well. Maybe fair share, especially before liking them to Ripple. Let's see, did the article pull up? This is the white paper. Let's search for the word Zebec. It's not mentioned in the white paper. I don't know how great that was. So this is Zebec holders. Let's clear the air. This weekend had some sweating. So here's what's actually going on. Partnerships real. Circle, Stellar, Visa, MasterCard, Uphold, Coinbase Ventures confirmed by both sides. These aren't fluff. They're powering Zebec's live debit card, USDC payroll, and cross-border FX features. The Ripple deal not confirmed yet. No press release, no Ripple mention. Community speculation, vague hints from Zebec. Until we get receipts, stay grounded. When you do research like I have done on Zebec, you shouldn't be panicking. You should be buying this beautiful dip. All right, far. Why the price dip? Zebec ran 800% from May lows. Profit taking was due. July 4th low liquidity had macro jitteries, tariffs plus BBB bill, the big beautiful bill, and you can get a sharp cool off. No exploits, no treasury dump, just the market doing its thing. And that's what I was trying to tell you guys earlier. This happens in crypto, right? This happens in anything economic, right? There's economic ups and downs, then there's changing in the investment. So Zebec still strong. Yes, the circle connection alone will keep them thriving. Zebec is the circle alliance program confirmed. Zebec's pending U.S. Trust Bank's charter means Zebec can soon operate with FDIC insured payment rails. Let's read that again. Circle's pending U.S. Trust Bank charter means Zebec can operate with FDIC insured payment rails. This is massive, real infrastructure, not just hype. The bottom line, this isn't a red flag, it is a reset. Zebec still has real partnerships, real utility, and real shot at scaling. If they land Ripple, great. But even without them, they are not built on fluff. Smart money isn't scared of dips. It prepares for rebounds. And I think there is a massive rebound coming. Far, thank you again, my brother, with the sticker, the super sticker. It's only the beginning. It is only the beginning for Zebec, right? This is not even a real pump yet, right? It hadn't even taken off. This is just the pre-investment before we get a big announcement. Um, Zebec will soon lift off. I would far be more concerned if Zebec was posting something every single day, like they were forcing it down our throats. Compliance is key for all crypto right now. And I'm sure this is their main focus. It's okay, Zebec community, relax. And that's what I was saying. If these guys were a scam, they're not scamming very well, right? The scammers are the one that post every day constant nonsense and BS, right? These guys don't even post much. So that also leads to me to believe they're more legit than people are letting on, right? Because if there was something funny about it, they would be slamming it down our throats, right? They would want us to buy in. They would want us to be fully convicted in the project, right? And these guys are pretty much doing their thing. That's also another old saying. It's the quiet ones you got to watch out for, not the ones making noise, yelling, and sending wolf tickets, right? It's the ones that aren't talking, that aren't concerned, that are doing their own thing, right? They're busy. What's the saying? They're busy walking, right? Where everybody else is talking, they're busy working. So we will see ZBIX being attacked by organized FUD. It's easy to see. This only motivates me more to DCAN because many understand they can't see what's going on. ZBIC will melt faces. And I agree with that, guys. There's something going on. If you're getting attacked, it's like the kids in school, right? The kids only pick on you if you're doing something. If you're not doing anything and you're out the way, nobody notices you. But if you are up and involved and part of something, everybody sees you. And that's when the FUD starts. I saw that news this morning. It's super bullish. Remember, the scared money don't make money. Definitely. You got to invest it to make it. XPR and loan protocol will be the silent, deadly fart. 10 million ZBIC. If you have to talk about ZBIC, it's because you missed the boat. Oh, wow. Wow. 10 million? Bro, let me borrow about 3-4 mil. You know what I'm saying? Let your boy borrow a couple mil wands. You know, keep it moving. The price has now reached the bottom of my first green zone. If the price bounces off the zone, it's coming days, may not, wait, it may not drop lower to the second green zone on the chart. RSI is oversold on zone 4H, 8H, 4 hour, 8 hour, and 12 hour, but not yet on the 1 day time frame. So this is that green retracement level for his zones. And it looked like we got to the bottom of that 0027 zone and came up. And I don't think we went down to his second zone, but this is actually pretty good information. Make sure I'm following this guy so we see what the next zone up is. Did he mention it? 5 hours ago. Definitely wait to see his next update on that one. This is good information. We're following the zone. I'm no rocket scientist, but I can spot rocket launch before takeoff. It feels like I'm standing next to Jeff Bezos and watching SpaceX prepare to launch a real rocket. XRP and ZBIC look weeks to months from their next rocket launch. paper hand bees always sell, ignore the FUD. Of course they do, right? They get paranoid and drop, but you might be dropping too early. I got in at 0.012. Nice. Yeah, 90 is nice. Got in when it was still ZBC, right? I wish I'd have bought more then so I could transfer it over, but we will see. We're getting these drops like I expected. Be patient and add to the 200 and 365 EMA, or you'll be adding. Or are you adding at all? Please let me know. See what this guy's saying about the same thing, the 0027 and the 0020. So we'll see when the bounce happens, but the bounce is coming. So we read this article. So looking at the holders currently, let's refresh this real quick. This is the ZBC that got rebranded to ZBCN, down 4% on the day. Well, 4.7 on the hour, 1.9 on the day, 19% on the week, 33 on the month, still up 108.7, up 191.7 on the year. Last hour we're down 4.2. Go back to holders. Holders is still 79,247. Last 4 hours we picked up 36 holders. 12 hours we're down 10. Day we're down 51. 3 days we're down 186. 7 days 201. 14 days 1,508. 30 days 793. So if you can see, this is not a massive dump, right? In 30 days, you're only down 791 out of 74,000. Sounds kind of weird. Why would the price be only drop 7,000? I don't know. It's kind of lower than I expected. I thought it would be around 3,000 or 4,000, but only down 700 is very, very positive. It means you guys are diamond handing. Somebody is holding. So don't forget to diamond hand and keep holding. Keep holding with the diamond hand. Let's go. This is Zebec 00289, down 19% on the week, down 2.7 on the day, 245.1 million market cap, 22.09 24-hour trading volume, up 25%. We are still bullish on the project. Let's see. Investors with emotions will get wrecked. Good luck. And I was going to say that too. I'm holding. Zebec weathers all storms. Welcome aboard. Walk with pride. Okay. Trying to figure out. Put a fire emoji in the chat if you are holding Zebec. Put a fire emoji in the chat if you're holding Zebec. I ask a lot of times, and only 2 or 3 people put anything in the chat. Put a fire emoji, just type fire, and the fire emoji comes up. I want to see how many people are truly holding Zebec, right? Are truly in the Zebec army, are really here and not a bot, but are really part of the Zebec. Okay, why didn't I just not putting it in fire in here? Are really part of the fire, are really part of the community, right? Are you actually here listening to the video, or are these bots? Put a fire emoji in the chat. So we got Zed, I see you out here. Terry, I see you out here. I'm actually hoping to catch a bid at the 002 also. Yeah, I actually wanted to go down farther so I could pick up more. Gary, I see you. Peter, I see you. Black Tiger, I see you. Cherry, I see you with the fire. Roberta, I see you. AG Texas, I see you out here. So let me know in the chat if you are actually holding. Put some fire emojis in there. Let's show everybody who is live and in effect in the chat. Fire and a stick. I see you walk with a pride. So back to, I would love to see something like this. I'm talking about there. Very bullish on Zebec. Shout out to ZBCN 365. No surrender, Zebecians. Fighting for Zebec to the last stand. IMO. Zebec is about to change forever for the good. Let's freaking go. I like it. Following you, I'm following you. Wolf Street. Zebec's a reputable source posted this recently. Yep. C-wave correction pattern is getting closer to completion. The new cycle, Elliott Wave 5, will begin in January. W1 pump, W2 small correction, W3 super pump. So the super pump is on the way. The red line represents the trend line. Shorts have been adding their position from. The next point to add on shorts is the Zebec rises back to the 0029 to 0031 zone and will send it to 0025. Sorry, but it's necessary evil. Stay strong and let it play out. Eventually, the tide will turn and the switch will flip bullish when completed. Vernon, I see you out here, bro. Fire, 5,000 invested. Far, I see you out here with the fire emoji. Let me see. Zebec, all this FUD and trolling. I'd rather give my money to the devs than let the fudsters and trolls get my bag for cheap. Staying diamond hand for the moon. A holding for a whale on Zebec. Okay. Dang it. Everyone chill out. This is a great buying opportunity. Finally, if you bought in before when everyone was saying buy, buy, and got it wrong, everyone with common sense knew we would be here. Now it's time to buy with great potential ahead of some new gains. Just don't make the same mistake you did if you never took profit. People tried to mess with your mind. Wait, people tried to mess your mind up and made you confused about your investment. They tried scaring you with anything with any way. They to make you sell your tokens at the lowest price so they can make profit from you. Fearless and just focus in the future of your good. Wait, your future of your own good. Stay calm. Don't panic. Happy Independence Day. What the freak? Zebec, stay strong. Guys, stay positive, stay patient. Don't panic for any reason. It will rise and we will fly. Just calm down and enjoy your weekend. Everything is going to be fine. Peace. That's what I'm telling you guys. I think something big is going to happen next week. There's always a big pullback before things get crazy. Wait, man didn't show me. Do you guys remember that I am trying to tell you the same thing? It's showing clear signs of collapse, and the hype appears to be completely over. After a massive pump, price is now rapidly falling, down 30% from recent highs. No solid support holding, trending volume is dying fast, meaning the interest is fading and wells have already started dumping their bags. Momentum indicators are flashing. The experts predicted drop down to 0.045 or even lower. This could be the beginning of a major correction. If you're still holding, ask yourself, are you willing to watch your capital bleed as the token holds back to security? Don't get trapped in false hopes. Get out while you still can, because when you panic truly sets in, it will be every holder for themselves. Okay, that's FUD. Serious FUD. I can't believe you really don't remember me. I was this guy that caught it. The slow I invested, definitely, but was calling out everything you're feeling now and keep getting shut down with the FUD word. It's weird. This coin market, where's these CDs? See if we can find that holder information. Should be on here somewhere. I thought they showed the holders here. Even here, the profile score is 82%. What are these guys talking about? I thought it showed holders here. Maybe it's one of these guys show holder activity. Is it this guy? I think it is this guy. Market's down because Bitcoin, but Monday we should see higher. I think so too. I know next week when that announcement hits, something should happen. Yeah, current holders is 74,000. What is this guy talking about? Market cap 288. Liquidity 70K. And you can see here there's some buying activity, right? 40, 150, 150, 100. This must be a bot. 150, 150. Yeah, see, this, whatever this is slowly buying back in. So you're not going to see this number go up, right? 150, 150, 150, 150, 150. Instead of buying a massive pump to bring the price up, this guy's slowly buying back in. And you can see he hasn't been selling either. This is same guy, 900, right? Instead of a whale purchase, you got to be careful with these guys. I'm saying a lot of slick stuff's going on here, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, cats and dogs. So let's look at dolphin and whale. This guy bought 4,000. This guy bought 3,000. This is today. This guy bought 3,000. This guy bought 3,000. See if there's this whale activity. So somebody bought 18,000 2 days ago. And most of this is removing, which I think that means they're taking it off the chain. I can't 100% remember what that means, but let me know in the comments. Either way it goes. Click to some videos. Actually, let's look at this real quick. So this is the 5-minute chart. So it looks like we're coming down to the 0028. RSI is down. MACD cross, we're losing volume. On the 15-minute chart, looks like volume is building. We just had a MACD cross. RSI based moving average is up. RSI is in the 40s. 45-minute chart, they're still building volume. RSIs came down. RSI based moving average is coming up on the 45-minute. On the 1 hour, we're building volume. Couple red candles. Guess it's still pulling back. On the 4, 2 red candles. RSI base moving average is flat at 30. RSI is at 32. We're losing volume on the 4-hour. On the day chart, you can see here a series of green candles. So it looks like the price is coming down for us to pick it up. So let me see. I guess we'll close the trading view and close the DEX because the DEX pulls a lot of energy. A lot of memory.
Hello, everyone. Zebec network seems like.
Okay, we'll keep that open. This is the AI analysis from CoinMarketCap. Zebec fell 2.4% in the 24 hours due to failed bullish reversals, attempts, weakening technicals, and muted market-wide liquidity. Failed breakout to retest the price rejected at the 005 resistance, confirming bearish momentum. Low volume pullback, 24-hour trading volume, 20.8 million down 21.8 versus prior day. Bitcoin dominance dragging altcoin performance as Bitcoin holds 64%. Yeah. So as we're saying, Bitcoin's got to sell, right? Bitcoin is holding most of the liquidity, right? So until we get a move from Bitcoin, the altcoins will be stagnant, right? ZBN retested the 005 resistance zone on June 17th, failed to hold gains triggered by a 10% drop to the 002 current price key indicators show. RSI 7 at 25.28 oversold, but the MAC histogram negative at the 0.00004099. Price below all short-term EMAs, 7-day SMA 0033. Current is 0028. Anchored by VWAP support at the 0028 and the 003 being tested. This aligns with the June 30th analysis warning a weak low sweep risk in the golden pocket at the 0.618 fib fails. At 125 PML may sell for alts. 125 people may sell for alts. Okay. This aligns with the June 30th analysis warning of low sweeps risk in the golden pocket at the 0.618 fib fails. Altcoins face headwinds as crypto spot volume fell 28.3 24-hour global metrics. Bitcoin dominance rose to 64.7 yearly high, squeezing altcoin liquidity, fear and greed, index neutral 51, no panic, but limited risk appetite. ZBCN 0.73 market cap dominance makes it vulnerable. Sector wide rotations. Conclusion dip reflected failed technical macro altcoin weakness. Watch the 0028 VWAP support and Bitcoin's 104 level for directional cues. Could weakening BTC dominant reverse altcoin flows? Interesting. So let's see what this guy has to say real quick. I'm not sure what's up with my volume today, but let's play this video.
It feels like that we are just going down to the 0.0025. And currently, the price is at 0.002966. And in the recent video, as we discussed, that it is going to be very much ugly if we lose 3132, which is the previous ATH. And currently, you can see the coin is dumping down. But what is the good sign? You guys are just looking for the dose of OPM. I was the only analyst that was bullish on this coin while the coin were having a correction and it was just losing the momentum. So just a video about the Zebec network. Before starting, make sure to subscribe and turn on the notifications to never ever miss the upcoming updates. And do not forget to hit the like button. $255 million finally the market cap left on this coin, and $18 million of volume today. Same exchange listing, and there's a roadmap coming for the Zebec network on 9th July, I think. Was reading on their social media. Now, what about the chart? What is the level? Currently, what I'm watching here, the good thing I'm just going to show you. Uh, we'll go to 4 hour frame. On a 4 hour frame, first thing, look at this. RSI is reaching at the extremely oversold area, and it is just trying to make a reversal here and consolidating around at 30s area. So it's highly oversold on a 4 hour frame. Okay. Now we will go to the 6 hour frame and only the RSI. On a 6 hour, we are reaching to the lowest like 32 oversold. What about 12 hour frame? On a 12 hour, we are also reaching at the 31 oversold. Okay. So the next level is just going to be a little bit downside more, extremely oversold, like below the 29 or so. We are at the lowest. On 1 day frame, on a 1 day, it is just telling us that we are losing the support level of a 40 RSI, and the downside is very much limited. Like we are just entering into the oversold region. There's a room left on 1 day frame. What about 3 day frame? On a 3 day, it is looking like it is just free falling right now. You can see here, and we can just go back downside toward the 41 region, 7% more down on RSI. Currently, RSI is at 47. So we can just go back downside toward this area. This is a very, very strong support level. So by watching RSI, it seemed like the correction is just near to get over here around these areas. What about the chart? What the chart is telling us, chart is also like quickly dumping down, no support level, no buyback is coming on this coin. What is the level ZBCN was respecting? ZBCN was not respecting any moving averages or trend lines. It was just following the Fibonacci. Here you can see we just got rejection from the 2.618, and then we attempted 1.618 for rejection. And this is the next level, 0.65 or something, which is at 0.002575. Okay. The weight is just going downside. There's a big gap and there's a no support here from this level to this level. You can see after like 29 to uh, 22, almost how much down? 24% down. We can also expect because there's a no support here. This is the only level here. Currently, we are standing at 29. It's a recent ATH for this coin, a VIX only on the strong region. And on 27,581, I'm just looking for the buyback wick around at these area. We will go to 1 day frame. On a 1 day, this is the zone. Moving average 99 on a 1 day frame. It's a very strong level to hold. And I think so. The maximum wick is just going to be like 27 or something. The weight is just going. And then we can expect a pump upside back toward here 38 region. This is the bullish scenario. As overall, we are reaching at the oversold zone, and I think so. The like sooner pump will come on this coin toward this region, but currently it is just finding the bottom area, and I'm just waiting for the bottom wick, a buyback wick around at these level from the 25 to 27 in this region, and then coin can start moving and showing some positive move.
So as he mentioned, everyone is waiting for the bottom for the buyback and keep it moving. Next video is
what's going on, everybody? It's your boy Cesar, and we are
Cesar.
talking about Zebec today, ZBCN. Hit that like button, you guys. Subscribe if you want to see more content like this, and let's get into it, my friends. Okay. I realized that I've forgotten to make a video on ZBCN over the past couple days. That's not what happened. I actually made a video not yesterday, I guess early yesterday by the way of the charts, right? But like for me, it would have been 2 nights ago. I made a video on ZBCN and I didn't upload it. I don't know what the hell. I was looking back. Someone said, you haven't made a video on ZBCN in 2 days. I'm like, that's not right. It should have been more like a day. And well, here we are. Anyways, sorry that I've left you guys hanging. But here we are in the land of the promised. We're here, my friends. We are here. Can we go lower? Absolutely. Does it matter? Hell no. It doesn't matter at all. Yeah, we've gone a little bit lower than the expectation too. 0029. The low so far is at 00269. Let's see what Bybit has to offer as far as price goes. A little bit more reliable. It's probably even lower, I would bet. Let's see. Come on now. Come here, Trading View. She's thinking. 1, 2, skilly dilly do. No, that didn't work. It's like a 50-50. 50% of the time it works every time. Wow, it is really slow though. Low 00269. Yeah, okay, cool. Right around there. Finding support on a wicking basis. Let's see. If we look at this here. Yeah, kind of right around your all-time high area where you were closing, right? We could go lower. We absolutely could go lower. Let's analyze that, see if that happens. I hope that everybody remembers that while we were up here, I was saying if we go below 0029, it is okay. It is not a big deal. It's the exact opposite of a big deal. It's just a better opportunity to buy. And I absolutely said nobody in their right mind or wrong mind better be selling if we do go below 0029, okay? Because this is actually the most opportunistic moment to buy ZBCN since May. Since May 19th, man, since this phenomenal week. Wouldn't it have been great if you could have bought back here, right there at this level, and then caught a nice 2.5x in less than a week, or like a week later, week and a half later? Would have been great. Would have been great. Looks like a good bull flag. We're still consolidating in this range. We'll zoom back out to the long-term stuff, but let's look at the short-term stuff, okay? We'll get into all that other stuff here in a second. But looking at the 1 hour time frame here, that's a nice reaction. Look at that, guys. That's a nice reaction right there. A lot of volume coming in to the upside. Look at the abysmal, absolute desolateness of, or desolation. I don't know if desolateness is a word, but of volume that's been. And now we're getting volume as we're at a low point, finding support, right? It just kind of all makes. 1 hour RSI sucks still though. And it wouldn't surprise me at all if we did go lower with the RSI and find a higher low, get some bullish divergence. If Bitcoin moves down, the rest of crypto moves down, ZBCN will likely move down, and bullish divergence implies a higher low in the indicator with a lower low in the price. So if we were to go lower, let's just take this little pivot here, low to high, and imagine we go down to 0026, 00258. Could we go all the way down to 0021? It's even possible, right? We've talked about that too, and that's fine. I've for a long time said, and I'm not trying to say I predicted this perfectly, because for a long time we were talking about 0029, and clearly we've gone below there, but tomato to potato, whatever, man. It's all good. RSI looks bearish though, so lower, probably lower. 4 hour time frame, again, good reaction, but still you can go lower. Oh, look at this. 3 hours, 50 minutes left in this. If we go lower here, we are rejecting the oversold zone. Maybe we set ourselves up for some bullish divergence. I don't know. We could go a little bit lower. Let's look at this here from a low to high standpoint. Low to high there.
What's going on, Scottish Crypto? Holla at your boy. You're here still. Peace and hair grease, baby.
Wicks below the 1414. I don't know, man. I could go either way with this. Depending on how this 4 hour candle closes, I could go either way with this. I meant it when I said that the 1 hour would likely form some bullish divergence, but you don't need bullish divergence to form a low. You didn't have bullish divergence here on your 4 hour time frame. You just moved up. You know what I mean? You don't need it to form a low. Wicking below the 1414 like this. How many times have I said in my time with this channel, if anybody's watched for at least a month, let alone the years that we've been doing this, that it's common to wick through the 1414 and then close above it, which is exactly what we did here. Typically, in this kind of situation, what I would expect is that we go up to the 786, 886 zones. So something like this, right, to 0033, 00343, something like that. Lower high over here. Maybe we come down, we get some bullish divergence. Maybe we don't, though. I mean, genuinely, guys, not financial advice, not a financial advisor. If I was holding out on buying ZBCN at all, this is the time to not hold out and let loose the goose, man. Let that goose loose. But Cesar, you said it could go down to 0.022. Yeah, who cares though? Like really, like maybe it does. It could. Maybe it doesn't. You know, that doesn't. Like that's not. I don't care. But that's my style, right? I will happily buy here and hold through the pain, the momentary pain for what's going to come. Because right now, just right now, and I think we've looked at the 4 hour enough. Right here, right now, if we were to return to our all-time highs, you got the 2.5x. That's 150% growth, 2.5x. What, I'm going to be greedy for just a little bit more? I mean, maybe it makes sense to go a little bit lower, but I'm not going to hold out for that. Not me, man. Low to high, 1886200 area right there, and you have found resistance right at that same area here. I'm just saying, man. That could be where we go. If we look back at the 4 hour time frame, is this in an area that we have any kind of significance? Somewhat. Yeah, somewhat. A little bit of a shelf right here. That kind of makes sense that we would find or support right here. Nice. That very well could have been the low, guys. That very well could have been it. I like the way the price looks too. Depending on how today ends, that very well could have been the low. And if we close here or lower, we're in a good spot around the oversold zone to bounce. We love to bounce in this area between like the 35 and the oversold zone, the 40 and the oversold zone. We love to bounce in the daily RSI at these areas. And again, if we go lower, who cares? It's really not a big deal. Looking at this from a low to a high, we're doing the thing that is superbly common, which is to wick below the 382 and then we close above it. All right, just like the 1414. That's kind of the idea here. You go below the 382 and then you come back up and you close above it. And if we do that today, if we can close above 00293, let's just call it 00294. If we can close above that today in the next 7 hours and 47 minutes, good. That's probably the low. If not, if you close below here and then tomorrow, Sunday, you don't get above there, if we get 2 days in a row to close below this 382, still good. You're going down to the 0.5 area to find support, which is down at that's the next target area, 00223. Between here and there, you're going to get a low. But this is really exciting because you're basically there, man. You're in the zone. You're in the zone. Get in the zone, buying zone. We're going to go all the way up, man. It's a beautiful bull flag. It's a very beautiful bull flag. And I don't know where to draw the flag from. I feel like this from a low to a high, this is a bull flag. So I'm going to draw it from this, maybe this low here to this high. If this is the low, the perceived outcome would be something like 1.3 cents for your measure move. How'd you do with your last bull flag? Let's see. From a low to a high. Come on now, give me the high. We want to get that high. Come on, there we go. Low to high. Put it at the low of the bull flag pattern. And look at that. You exceeded your bull flag measure move. So again, just because this bull flag measurement says, hey, you're going to stop at 1.35 cents, 34 cents. How'd that go last time? You really didn't. It didn't matter. Didn't matter. Who cares? You kept going up. Very, very bullish with this thing. Very, very bullish indeed. It's time to get bullish, my friends. If you are feeling hesitant, you shouldn't be. You really shouldn't be. This is an opportunistic moment right here. I mean, hell, from the high to the low, we dropped 62%. That's a pretty standard drop for a move up like this in the crypto markets. So yeah, man, things are looking good. Not financial advice, not a financial advisor. Do whatever you want. If the price goes lower, buy there too if you want to. My style. I mean, looking at this here, man, depending on how today closes, we close above 00294 or tomorrow closes above there, right? We bounce. I wouldn't be surprised at all if next week we're all the way back up to like 0043 or higher. Like I really wouldn't be surprised if this thing just starts to rip from here, man. And the rest of the markets too. If the rest of the markets start to rip, this thing's going to get a really solid kick to the upside for sure. No volume at all coming down, right? On the daily time frame, you see any volume? I don't see any volume. No volume at all. You see the volume on the way up though? Yeah. Here, when we're coming down, is there any volume? Not really. One little pip where it was above average volume, and that was a very big wick. People are not selling. People are buying. It's buying time. Buy. Do not sell. Not financial advice, not a financial advisor. 3-day time frame. I love the RSI. In fact, the 3-day gives me confidence more so that you would find support here and not go lower. But again, if you went lower, maybe we could make sense out of it that you would wick lower and then come back up and close higher. This is only based off of closing price. So if in the next 7 hours, 44 minutes, then the next 3-day time frame, this one closes in 7 hours 44 minutes. If in the next 3-day time frame we wick down there, going to Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, we wick down there, and then Monday, Tuesday we pump up, maybe we do go down to 0.022. But again, if you're hearing that maybe we go there, just understand, if you're thinking of buying there, this is not promised. This is promised. This is actually reality right now, right? This is the best time to buy since the top in May. So I got nothing else for you guys. I hope you liked the video. If you did, hit the like button. If you didn't, we'll talk in the comments. Subscribe if you want to see more content like this. Thank you all for being here. Oh, I will see you in the next one. I probably won't actually talk to the comments, man. I got a lot of stuff. Got a lot of stuff to do today. Yeah, got to go to the doctor and stuff. Everything's fine, but just got to get some stuff taken care of. Personal matters, man. Personal matters. Weekly time frame. You're right at the area you'd expect to find support too, man. Like it's perfect. It's literally freaking perfect. All of it looks so good. You're gonna go much higher than where that bull flag measure move is, man. We're going all the way up to like 1.78, 2.3 cents, 4 cents to 5 cents, 1.8 cents at the bare minimum, man. That's where I think you're going. But you're probably going to go higher, right? The average coin's supposed to do like a 3x to a 5x. Yeah. I mean, to perform on average, then you'd basically, or just above average. I guess to perform on average, you'd be at 1.3 cents, but I don't think you stop there. I think you go higher. Higher. I'm expecting 4 cents or more, but time will tell. We'll see. And I could be wrong. And inevitably, I think I'll be right? But maybe this next move, maybe we go up to here. Instead of 4 cents, we stop at 2.3 to 1.7 cents. Okay, I hope everybody's okay with that. Find resistance there, come down, and then continue to move up, right? And then you do go above 4 cents, but just not in the time that I was assuming that you would. But I have a feeling that you will. But time will tell. Hit the like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here. It's been fun, Bulls. It's been fun, Bears. But now the Bears are going to go to sleep. The Bulls are going to wake up. Wakey, wakey, Bulls. It's bull o'clock. It's time to get in the pen there, or get out of the pen. I don't know. Whatever the more bullish thing would be. Okay. Take care. Bye-bye.
So shout out to Cesar. He's right. It is time for the Bulls to wake up, the Bears to go to sleep. So let me know what you guys think about that. We're gonna keep it moving.
Things are looking pretty crazy
today,
for ZBCN,
right?
but some upcoming
Keep pushing ZBCN. Tell your friends, tell your family to join and learn about Zebec, Scottish crypto. You can buy it on Phantom with Solana. I don't know if you can. I was looking at that. If you could use a USDT on the exchange, but I know you can buy it with Solana or Uphold. But either way, let me know. This is Abraz. See what he has to say about Zebec.
changes in the next week could ultimately affect the price action, and the price for ZBCN can be on a little bit of a surge, and we can pick up on some momentum. But guys, welcome back to today's video. My name is Arbaz Aziz, and guys, if you want to support the channel, I've teamed up with Mexi, guys. It's a safe, reliable exchange where you can trade crypto. And the good thing about Mexi, guys, is if you're trading meme coins, a lot of the meme coins get listed onto Mexi first. Use my link, you'll get some nice bonuses, nice promotions. And yeah, thank you for helping out the channel, guys. But going back to ZBCN, I mean, for the month, guys, we've been on a pretty downward slope, guys. We're down 38%. Market cap, guys, is sitting at 250 million. If I do a little recap on my previous videos, I told you guys a great entry point for this project, anywhere from 300 to 250. I told you guys would be a great entry point. I know the coin has been struggling a bit because Bitcoin dominance, again, guys, is pretty huge. And when that happens, we see that altcoins and meme coins tend to do pretty bad. We need Ethereum to pull up, guys. But as you know, the community is very bullish on this project as well, guys, 88%. And if we look at volume, guys, only 16.42% in the last 24 hours, guys. And we are down 20% again. ZBCN has been on a pretty, like I said, guys, a pretty negative roll. If you go to market cap, guys, in all time, we maxed out at around 550. But since then, you can see the pullbacks, guys, the investors taking their profits. I mean, we only a few things can absolutely help out this project. Number one being major exchange listings. And what I mean by that, guys, if you look right now, we have Mexi, my partner channel, sorry, my partner for this channel, doing pretty well. I mean, but we don't have Coinbase or Binance, guys. Once we get Coinbase and Binance, it will be absolutely huge for this project. And that can definitely set the course for this coin in the right direction. If we go over to the X, guys, like I said, nothing new, but we do have some great news coming next week, guys. As you know, ZBCN are coming from an event in the last few days. And boom, right here, join us next week for a spaces as we share updates on our roadmap and the upcoming super app. Big things ahead for H2 2025. This is absolutely huge, guys. Next week, we can see a bull run or a potential bull for this project, guys. Things can be, I mean, depending on what they share in terms of the roadmap and their new acquisitions and their new partnerships, it can definitely build a little bit of momentum on this project, and we can definitely head in the right direction. Of course, regarding the XRP partnership, we don't have anything yet, nothing on the horizon for that, but we might be getting some news, guys, potentially next week on a potential XRP partnership. Who knows? Stay tuned. We don't have a Binance listing yet. We don't have a Coinbase listing yet. Guys, this project is still a great buy. Like I told you, again, not financial advice, but I predicted that this project will hit around this market cap. Like, you know, I have invested $10,000 into this project. And of course, guys, I believe in this project. I believe that ZBCN can be the future. I mean, these numbers are pretty crazy. I missed out on XRP when I was sitting around this time or these numbers. I'm not going to miss out on it again. Let me know what you think about today's video. Do you plan on buying ZBCN? Have you sold off anything? And where do you think this project is headed? Once again, guys, thank you for watching today's video. If you enjoy it, please give this video a like. And if you can show some support on the channel, guys, go download MEXC and use my referral code and sign up, and you do get some great bonuses. Until next time, guys, it's your boy RB Aziz signing off.
Well, that was a nice quick video from
Right now, the Senate is debating over Trump's big, beautiful.
Yeah, let's keep it moving to this is Big BC. See what he has to say.
What's up, ladies and gents? You know what time of day it is. It's Zebec time, and in today's video, we're going to be talking all about Zebec. We're going to be discussing what we are seeing here on the charts, and I'll be giving you guys my price prediction for Zebec over the coming days and weeks, as well as my targets for 2025. So be sure to stay tuned for all of that. Of course, if you are a new viewer, then welcome to this channel. If you do like this sort of content, hit the like button and subscribe for more. If you are a returning viewer, as always, welcome back to the channel. It's great to have you all here. So of course, we're going to be diving straight into this video. We're going to start off with the shorter term here on Zebec. That means we are on the 1 hour chart right now. And of course, needless to say, we have seen a bearish trend here on the shorter term. And at first glance, it seems like things are not looking great here for Zebec. Of course, we have seen a bit of an acceleration of that downtrend where the prices have started to curve a little bit like this. But I want to make this video to assure you holders and the bulls out there for Zebec that I still think that everything I have discussed in my previous video still stands. And obviously from the previous videos, we came to the conclusion that in the near future, we should see a bullish trend emerge here from Zebec. And so what that should mean is that prices sooner rather than later should start to head up in a new bullish trend. Now, of course, to explain why I think that, we need to zoom out here on Zebec and kind of just see how this relates to the rest of the downtrend. Now, if we zoom out to basically what we've seen since June, nothing has really changed in the sense that since June, we've been in this downtrend. Just the fact that the prices have been going down a little bit steeper does not mean that things are getting worse, in my opinion. If we draw on the trend lines that we've been monitoring now here on Zebec for the past month, we can see that this has been our upper resistance here. Now, of course, that means that the prices have come up to this level on numerous different occasions to test it as a resistance and bounced off of it every single time. So we know that this is a strong trend line for Zebec. At the same time, we've also been monitoring this support. Now, the support has been going along a little bit like this on Zebec, because for the same reasons, the price has come down to this area and used it as a support to bounce from on every single occasion. So basically, what we've seen over the past few hours is that prices have come down straight to this support level. And on the 1 hour chart anyway, we have seen a bit of a bounce from this region. So we've got our fourth test of the support line. And if this support acts in the same way as it has done over the previous 3 times, we should at least see a bounce from this level here in the shorter term on a Zebec. So if you are a shorter term holder, I do think that this would be a decent time to be adding to your Zebec, because in theory, we should see a little bit of a bounce at least from this level. Now, on top of the fact that we are right by a support line, a strong support line here on Zebec, we've also got the 2 trend lines heading in this downwards direction. So the point is, these 2 trend lines are facing downwards and they converge into each other. So that means if we extend them, eventually we would expect them to meet. Every time we see this structure, this is a very good sign, because this is a bullish chart pattern. We expect there to be a bullish price action coming from this price pattern that we see here on the chart. Now, of course, that is because this is a falling wedge. And for that to be confirmed, what we want to see is a breakout to the upside from this upper resistance here. So if we see prices get up to this resistance, for example, and do something like this, where we clear that upper resistance and prices start to head upwards, it could tell us that we've broken out from this falling wedge pattern. Now, if that happens, we have a bullish price target on our hands, and we measure the price target of any falling wedge by grabbing the first test of support there, dragging that to the first test of resistance, and just dragging our measuring tool to wherever we may see that breakout. So let's say, in fact, we see a breakout sooner rather than later. Let's say that happens in a week's time. We could be expecting a price target here on Zebec of 0.0058, so a 75% upside. Now, of course, if we break out a little bit later, you can see that that reduces the price target a little bit, but it's still the same 75% upside from wherever we break out from this upper resistance line. So we have this exciting prospect here on Zebec that we could definitely be looking forward to. Of course, this falling wedge pattern, this larger falling wedge pattern, could take days. It could even take weeks to really unravel. But once it does unravel, we should see a really nice pump emerge here on Zebec. And as I've said before in my previous videos, if we get to these upper price targets here, particularly if we clear this region, so this is still a major resistance for me. If the prices can get above this green line here on the chart, I don't think there's going to be much stopping Zebec from going up to its previous all-time high and making new all-time highs as well. So essentially, if we see this falling wedge play out, prices get to its price target, and we get past this green line with ease, we could be looking at the previous all-time high as the next target. So we have these shorter term targets that we could potentially be looking for here on Zebec if the prices break out of this upper resistance. So if you are a shorter term holder, I would suggest that you keep this resistance on the screen, monitor it as the prices come close to that resistance, because once we get that breakout, this move upwards could be quite swift. Now, on top of that as well, we were monitoring the MACDs here on the shorter term, and essentially nothing again has changed about the perspective. We're still seeing huge bullish divergences forming on the MACDs. Essentially, this is the 1 hour MACD. Our support trend line, as you can see here on the price, is clearly heading downwards, which means that there is a bearish trend on the price. But if we have a look at the MACD, the trend line is clearly heading upwards. So when we see a divergence between the price and the MACD lines here, this essentially tells us that in the near future, we could be seeing a trend reversal. And of course, the trend on the price was bearish. So if we see a trend reversal, that means we should start a new trend on a new bullish trend sooner rather than later. And if we go back onto the 4 hour chart, despite the recent price action, nothing has changed about the 4 hour MACD as well. We're still seeing a beautiful bullish divergence, which again tells us we could be seeing a trend reversal sooner rather than later. Now, of course, the final boss for us here on Zebec is this 1 day MACD. Now, the 1 day MACD, as you can see, has still got these red bars even though that the red bars are getting smaller and smaller, we still have bearish momentum on a slightly longer time frame. So this bullish trend to really work out, what we need to see here on the 1-day MACD are green bars. And that tells us that there's bullish momentum on the longer time frame. So of course, if we take a look at the 20th of May, we can see that we saw a successful crossover of the two MACD lines. We saw red bars turn green at that point. And as you can see on the price, it basically did this massive 4x rally. Soon after, we saw longer term momentum turn bullish here on Zebec. Now, of course, at the moment, we are getting closer to that stage. We are following this trend line here on the MACD at the moment. So it is getting smaller and smaller. At some point, we might expect the bars to turn green, but we are not at that point yet. And that is probably why we are still seeing prices continuing in this bearish trend. But watch out for the 1-day MACD, because if we get a crossover of the two lines, if we start seeing green bars appear on here, it could be very, very quickly that we see a huge pump like what we did back on the 20th of May. And I also want to show you an example from XCN as well, our other crypto that we cover a lot on this channel. Essentially, what I'm going to do is just get rid of all the annotations and just get those lines back on. What we saw here on XCN is something very similar to what I think we are seeing now on Zebec. In fact, if I scan past the two charts, you can see such a massive similarity between them. So here on XCN, you can see that there was a downtrend for over 2 months, where this resistance and this support was basically the bounds for this downtrend. And at some point, as soon as the price broke above this resistance, we saw this 4x pump to the upside. Now we can measure the price target from the resistance, from the falling wedge here on XCN. And as you can see, first test support to first test of resistance, just drag that measuring tool to where we saw the breakout. And essentially the price target was hit to a T here on XCN. So essentially, if you were paying attention to the XCN price action and watching it as it started to break out above its upper resistance, you'd have had to be quick to catch this move. And of course, over the course of 3 days, we basically did this 4x to the price target of this falling wedge. So right now here on Zebec, we are seeing the same telltale signs that we saw here on XCN at the moment. And of course, if we have a look at the structure of the MACD here on the 1-day chart for XCN, it was very similar to what we're seeing now on Zebec. You can see that the red bars were biggest right at the start of this downtrend, and they slowly got smaller and smaller and smaller. That is what is happening with Zebec right now. We can see the same trend line for the red bars on the MACD there. And after we saw the first sign of green bars, we had to wait for a little while, but then sooner rather than later, we saw that explosion to the upside, followed by huge green bars. So, we are in that same process, in my opinion, here on Zebec, as we were seeing back at the start of 2025 for XCN. So you know what they say, history never repeats, but it often rhymes. And that is what I think is happening now with Zebec. So at the end of the day, we are very optimistic about Zebec. So essentially, in the shorter term here on Zebec, so I'm talking really short-term stuff, we could possibly see the prices fall further. Of course, don't expect it to go up straight away. Do be prepared for a scenario where prices, maybe they see a little bounce over the next day or so, but then over the following few days, maybe we fall down a little bit further, all the way down to this fib level here at 0.0024. That could possibly be, but as long as we stay within this resistance and support, highlighting this falling wedge, I do think that, at some point, we are going to see a breakout to the upside. And once that happens, we should see what we saw here on XCN, a quick pump up to the price target from this falling wedge. Now, of course, that is the shorter term. So I'm talking over the next few days and weeks. But if we're thinking slightly longer term here, so for 2025, particularly for Q4 of 2025, when I think Zebec will do its best, we are looking at much higher price targets than what we have right now. So if you are a longer term holder, I don't think this shorter term price action should concern you too much. Our price targets for Zebec in 2025, once they reclaim these previous all-time highs, which currently sit at around 0.007, the next natural targets for me are all along these fib levels. And we use these fib levels because, as you can see, Zebec really respects these fib levels as places of support and resistance. So here at the 0.5 fib, for example, Zebec literally came up to it 3 separate occasions to test it as a resistance. So if we break all-time highs. The next natural target for us is this 1.618 fib that sits just below the 1 cent region. So that's 0.01 on the charts. The next target for me is this 2 fib here, 0.017. Not particularly ambitious for 2025, so I do generally ignore that one. The main target for me in 2025 is this 2.618 fib. So this is an important fib level as well for Zebec, and it sits at 0.046. Now, another major target for me, if we can clear that previous target, 0.046, is this 0.1 region. And of course, that is a big psychological level here for Zebec. That's like 100,000 in Bitcoin. There's going to be a lot of people probably selling once we see a figure that starts with 0.1. So essentially, we've got these two as our major targets for 2025. Now, of course, the main thing that we look for in order to have the best possible chance of the prices getting to these upper price targets are these two indicators here on CoinMarketCap. So if we just go on the homepage, this is what the homepage should look like. You see these two here, the Fear and Greed Index and the Altcoin Season Index. Now, for the best possible chance of Zebec to hit those upper targets, we need to see at least 75 here, ideally closest to 100, but at least 75 for the Altcoin Season Index. And we need to see at least 80 for the Fear and Greed Index. And essentially, the Altcoin Season Index just measures how much altcoins are outperforming Bitcoin. Right now, we're seeing Bitcoin outperform altcoins. And obviously, the higher the number, the more altcoins are outperforming. And with the Fear and Greed Index, it measures the sentiment in the market. So right now, it's neutral. Above 80, we get extreme greed, we get euphoria. And when we combine both of these together, then we get those frenzies where coins can do these 2x's, 5x's, 10x's, even 100x's in the shortest space of time. And of course, that creates the perfect storm for smaller cap coins like Zebec to really just rip to the upside and hit those targets that we have mentioned earlier. So like I say, these are my targets for 2025. I think that's going to be most realistic between the months of October to December of 2025. That's generally speaking when crypto does the best. Of course, we know about the 4-year Bitcoin cycle, and generally speaking, altcoins do the best in the second quarter of the 4th year of a Bitcoin cycle. So if we look at 2021, we had a true altcoin season between October and December of 2021. Again, with 2017, the best altcoin performance was in the last few months of 2017 as well. So I expect that to be the same here for altcoins like Zebec in 2025. So that is what I wanted to say for this video here on Zebec. Of course, very, very finally as well, if you want to get $10 completely free to buy some Zebec, don't forget to check out this beautiful exchange, the MEX exchange here. As you can see on the screen, they're giving every new user who signs up
shout out to the big BC, and he's right. We ain't even got to the pump season yet, guys. We're not even there yet. So this is Cade.
We're seeing the Zebec team make some pretty strong moves, even though we're seeing a little bit of some less than ideal performance on the chart. However, I did want to discuss and talk about the chart in a little bit more detail today, just because even though it may short-term not be looking too great, I think this is something that is fully expected, especially given the moves that we have seen already. And so if you are getting a little bit nervous or a little worried, we'll of course be talking a little bit about that today as well. But first off, I want to start off with the interesting news of the day. The Zebec team has actually been making some really interesting moves. And I think this is a great sign from the team that they're continuing to move along. They're continuing to push for, innovating and growing and, shipping new, new data, or not data, but like new improvements, all of that type of stuff. And so I think we're seeing some really interesting things happening. We can see here the Zebec network made an announcement saying that they actually have created a compliance leadership team consisting of Dr. Mark Turkington, Wojtek Zatorsky, and Nick Andrews. And so you can see, their backgrounds are all here. But essentially one is the founder of GateKnox, one's the CEO of Strata Global, and one is the managing director of AML at HSBC. So a pretty good mix here, and some pretty good backgrounds that we are seeing from the team that is going to be leading the compliance team. And of course, with payroll, payroll is super, super heavy compliance type of subject. And so having a strong compliance team and making sure that everything gets set up as it should, get set up appropriately, all of that type of stuff, with the added wrinkle that it is crypto and we are in the crypto space, of course, is a really, really strong thing to see. So I think that that is some really good news. I'm excited to see kind of what happens, kind of over the next several months with some developments. We've seen some announcements from the Zebec team that they're going to start advertising in American sporting events and things like that. So it'll be interesting to see kind of what comes of that. A lot of different things going on, but right now we can see that the Zebec team is definitely in build mode. They're working quite hard. They're trying to keep the updates coming. We haven't seen any updates from the Zebec team within the past couple of days, but they are in Con for the ETH event. So I think that kind of makes sense. There's probably a lot of good connections being made, things like that. And I would imagine maybe we see some sort of announcement coming out after that, or maybe some announcement from what they do or any announcements that they make at the event. Potentially we see those coming out as well. So hard to say for sure, kind of exactly what's going to be happening, but they are actually hosting an event. Let me share this again. We can see that Zebec is hosting a side event co-hosted with Cointelegraph at ETHCC. Again, this is in Cannes, France. So you'll have to see, kind of exactly if there's any announcements or anything that comes out from this. But overall, some pretty good news here in terms of, kind of that they're getting out in front of people. They're building out their leadership team. They're doing a lot of this type of stuff, which I think is good. We'll just have to kind of wait and see for any updates coming out of ETHCC. So we'll continue along here and take a look at the Zebec chart, because of course, I'm sure many of you are probably not quite seeing.
I'm going to pause that before we get into more analysis, but this is something I just found on X. This is from, as we can check the Black Root later, this is from Jetpack. So let's see what this guy is saying here about.
Buddy is asking about the Zebec.
Wait a minute, is this a?
Buddy is
Let me know if you guys can see this.
asking about the Zebec network. Is it a scam? Is it legit? Are they partnered with XRP? Are they amazing? Are they a fraud? Well, you know what? We're going to deep dive. We're going to get into all the specifics right now. So stick around to the end of this video. Here's all the details that you want to know. It starts out with this guy who is the founder of the Zebec protocol. Now, this guy is under scrutiny right now, apparently for doing rug pulls and scams, or at least that's what the claims say. So we're going to deep dive and we're going to find out what kind of involvement does this guy really have. Okay, so here's some of the claims that are out there, or I should say recent allegations. There's a LinkedIn post that claims that Sam, the founder of Zebec, is implicated in a market manipulation scandal alongside Galen Law Kun, impacting ZBCN holders. The next thing that it says out there is Binance Social Channel warns that Sam is under investigation for fraud and dumping on retail investors, and notes that Zebec Network is not working with Ripple or Stellar as it claims that it is. This is the original Binance post saying the founder of Zebec, ZBCN, Sam, is under investigation for fraud and dumping on retailers. ZBCN is not working with Ripple XRP and is not working with Stellar XLM either. So, of course, serious accusations suggesting legal scrutiny and deceptive behavior targeting retail investors. And here's the Reddit post. It says they stole some code from the true king of treasury management on Sol, Mean Finance Streamflow. We actually tested it and found a serious bug that allowed us to stream money that wasn't even in the wallet. So the allegations go from misappropriation of funds, fake node sales, undisclosed token burn changes and contract migrations, oversaturation of bot-run Telegram social channels. But is this true or not is what we're going to find out. As the founder of a cryptocurrency project myself, the first thing that comes to my mind is, why has Zebec Network or their founder not spoken out about these claims publicly yet? There's currently no public statements or legal disclosures from the Zebec Network addressing or disapproving either the Binance or the Reddit claims, which there probably should be. but that still doesn't make the claims true. And here's where we're going to deep dive a little bit deeper and find out what is really going on with Zebec, the founder, and what really was the involvement in these so-called claims or scams. Stick around because the details are still coming at you. So this is where it starts to get a little bit sticky. Our good pal Sam used to work with Movement Labs, or should I say was an informal advisor for Movement Labs, working on a deal with a company called Rentec. This deal with Rentec was involved with a $66 million transaction with Move tokens, and once the deal was completed, there was an immediate sell-off, aka a rug pull. Naturally, Sam, being an informal advisor, was involved with the group. But the question is, how involved was he really? It shows here that Sam's involvement as an informal advisor, he was CC'd, as you can see, on internal emails. So this may imply that he knew something and he allowed it to happen, which could put a big X on him. Or it's possible that he was just CC'd on emails that didn't have any relevant information towards the sell-off and he had no involvement at all. It doesn't prove one way or the other at this point. Internal officials are also searching or looking at investigating Rushi Manche, and he is the co-founder. He was also suspended, and some other executives and legal counsel are also being checked out. So there was a problem going over here inside Movement Labs, and Sam was an advisor of it, but it does not prove that he did anything malicious yet. So here's the bottom line that you want to know about the founder. There's no indication of any public or legal investigation or charges against Sam himself, first off. What has occurred is an internal audit by Movement Labs, so it's not a legal investigation or something. It's an internal audit to try to understand how involved was he in this, and is there something that went wrong here when they were doing this Rentec deal. And then these internal processes can surface concerns, but they don't equate to legal wrongdoing at this time. So as far as we can see right now, Sam, you're in the clear. Great news. The founder does not appear to be a scammer. But wait a second. What about all these partnerships that they're claiming that everyone is saying is false? Well, I guess we better deep dive on that one too. Here it is.
Dang, I thought I was muted. I wonder where the rest of this video is, because I actually want to know about the partnership, since we know that the owner, I Hood Life. See, what is this guy? I Hood Life. See if we can find the rest of this video. I hate when they do shorts and you don't have a whole freaking thing up here, man. Wasting a lot of time looking for the video. So this is back to Kate O'Neill while we look for this.
Much of the movement or the performance that you were hoping for recently, especially after a move like this. But let me just show you exactly why I'm not particularly worried. So, of course, we do have the Fibonacci. Chart here. We can see here kind of from high to low. We saw this is like the fib retracement chart, and we can see we've actually made it all the way up to the very, very top level of the fib extensions, hitting that 4236 here. We can see multiple rejections at this level. So definitely a strong level of resistance. The fib's definitely holding intact here. We can see here that the 2618 has actually caused some
Hello, Donna. It takes one. Ian. Thanks, Donna. And let's get back to the video.
Resistance as we've been moving down. And then right now, it does look like we've at least bounced off the 1618. We'll see if we can hold that. Maybe we continue to dip further down. It's hard to say for sure, but if we do hold at this level, we can see that we're holding at a fib extension level, right? We're not even dropping back below what some of these previous highs were for Zebec. So this is really, really good to see. This, of course, would show a very, very clear higher low here if we were to see this kind of bottom out at this place. Of course, it is too early to tell. We can continue to move back to the downside. It's almost impossible to know for certain what exactly will happen. Given this right now, this does show a lot of strength from a technical perspective on the Zebec chart, because we can see it's hit a level of fib here. This is, of course, a huge point of resistance. It's hit a fib level here that, of course, is at least so far, showing some support. So we'll have to see kind of what exactly happens here over the next several days is probably going to be pretty key. As I mentioned, this is probably one of the first videos that I made discussing Zebec, as I had mentioned that this can happen, right? When you see these massive pumps happen, it's not unusual to see a retrace of 50% or so. We haven't even actually retraced 50% quite yet. We're actually seeing, I guess technically we have retraced 50% from kind of some of the highs there, but we did a retrace of massive proportion, or a move of massive proportions. So this is something where I think that even if we hold off at this range, going down 50%, not too big of a deal overall, in my opinion. If you are interested in trading, they do have Zebec listed on BTCC. I do have that link to BTCC in the description below. You can see it was recently added on the 1st of June. So the chart on BTCC is not necessarily the prettiest one, which is why I was discussing it using TradingView. But if you are interested in using BTCC, they do have a 10% bonus on first-time deposits, as well as up to $10,055 in deposit and trading bonuses. So really, really good deal there. If you are interested, just check the link in the description below. I do also have a link to Blowfin as well. Blowfin also has really great deposit bonuses, in addition to grid trading bots, which I really appreciate. If you're not familiar with those, they're really, really cool. So overall, that's what we've got here from Zebec today. I think overall, what we're seeing from Zebec is the team is continuing to, and we have to remember, this is just how it goes within crypto projects, how crypto projects essentially move along in their development life cycle, right? There's a point, there's some pretty good news. Maybe there's a lot of hype. People catch on to it. It goes crazy. It gets a little overheated. It has to come back. It has to kind of find a solid level in which it can sit on. And then we go again. Of course, that is predicated on further development, further improvement, further good news coming out.
All my free thinkers to another episode of Grow Rich Grow Happy, that place where
so that's generally kind of what I'm looking for. So far, I think we've seen, the team is continuing to make moves, right? Whether we'll see that hype come back, nobody knows for sure. But I do think that the team is very strong and the team is positioned to deliver over time. So of course, only time will tell. But hopefully you did find the information in this video useful. If you did,
Shout out to Cade, and now we're going back to Grow Rich, Grow Happy, and I can't find this video from this guy. Hood Life. Hood Life. Where's the rest of the video, bro?
We follow the breadcrumbs to wealth. Guys, before we get this episode started, I just want to say that I truly appreciate each and every one of my subscribers, and those of you that are not subscribed that peek in from time to time. Guys, we all come from different parts of life, guys. We've all been in some of the worst situations it is. Some of us has experienced the best of situations and fallen down. But one thing I want you guys to always remember, and that is you can transform your life into whatever it is you want. All it takes is consistency and be truthful to yourself, guys. So with that, guys, let's talk about Zebec. Guys, I got some things to talk about with Zebec, some things I saw. And one thing I realized today, and this is going to be crazy, one thing that I like probably almost more than Zebec, go figure, right? And that is, and I'm going to jump up here and show you this. That is a Zebec deal. Look at where we at, guys. Down, let's refresh this. Down 12.8%. for, I believe we're on the 7. Let's look at the 24-hour, and we're only down, what, 8.3%. So look at this, guys, stagnant. I don't think this is bad, though. This is giving people an opportunity to jump in. But there's a reason that I like that, and it is because a lot of people don't understand Zebec still. And those who do, they're kind of iffy and like, man, I don't know. What if it fall even further? And some of this FUD that's out here that's talking about Zebec, what if people are just dumping it and it is a scam? There's a lot of that out there. Well, remember what I said. Do your own research. Know what you hold. But we're going to talk about some things, something that's coming up next week with Zebec that I believe if the right thing is said, some things that we are expecting, guys, hold on to your seats. Put a seatbelt on. Strap up. Put on a helmet. Because we might be in for a ride of our life. Because, for one, it's July. So that's what we're going to take a look at, guys, as I'm going to hopefully get you as excited as I am. This is your first time here to Grow Rich, Grow Happy, guys. I am Mr. Foresight, and I am here to change your mindset because I believe that the internal battle or war that we all have in us, self-talk, negative self-talk, maybe the wrong set of friends in the wrong circles, those are the things keeping you back from that best dream life that you have always wanted to reach. I believe if you can conquer self, then all of that will just fall into place, guys. We do it by way here with cryptocurrency because we know that this is just where it's at. We know that with crypto, you can change your life a lot faster than you can in any other asset. So I'm here to bring you news, facts, and things that I feel like you should know about your crypto investments. So if this sounds like a channel for you, smash that like button, give me a sub, hit that bell notification so that you don't miss any of these videos. Now we're going to jump straight over here and we're going to talk about what's going on with Zebec. Now we all know the day was over at that Ethereum community meeting or something. It was a community gathering over in France. And I want to talk about that because I want to talk about something that I saw. But before I do that, I'm going to jump over here and tell you the big news with Zebec first. So I'm over here on my X account. If you're not following me on X, guys, make sure you do. If it doesn't have, it's at Mr. Foresight 64, but if it doesn't have this blue check here, it's not me. So we're going to scroll down here and I'm going to get back to Miss Crypto Queen here. She put some things here that look mighty juicy when it comes to Zebec. So we're going to jump down here because this is the spaces that I want you guys to look at. And I even put this on my page. Let me like on my own stuff because I'm like that. But I'm expecting a packed house for this one. This is what I say. Everybody better set their reminders. And yes, even the haters, because I know the haters are going to be in there. But listen. Tune in next week. This was on Zebec's official page. Zebec Ecosystem Spaces Roadmap and Super App updates, guys. This is going to be on July 9th, which is next Wednesday at 9 o'clock a.m. I am pretty sure this is going to be a packed house. And make sure, guys, again, we always talk about buy the rumor, sell the news. Well, everyone knows that these spaces that they have are usually packed. They usually drop some really good clues and gems on plans that they have. And those that are tuned to, you know, the crypto space and they understand how investments work, know that if the right thing is said, like maybe a partnership with Ripple or something, maybe something else that we haven't even thought about, something like that is talked about, then we're going to see this price elevate and hopefully take us to some of these prices right here that Crypto Queen, she says, my top 3 cryptos of 2025, and Zebec was right here. But look what she said about Zebec. She says current price, we're actually below this now, aren't we? Yeah, we're below this right now. But she says the base target is 10 cents, base likelihood 70 to 80%. So there's 70 to 80% chance of reaching this, but she says the bull target is 25 cents with a 40 to 50% chance of working. I like all these odds. I honestly do, but what do we know? Extreme blow off target would be $1, and you know I am that dollar. Extreme likelihood 20%, which is not bad. Circulating supply 81 billion, which is great considering we have a max supply of 100 billion. So it's all pretty much out there. But here's the thing I want you guys to check out. If you jump over here, I was looking at these guys right here, XDB chain, which is a real world blockchain for brands and consumers. Look what they posted. So we know where they are. They said they're over here at this Ethereum event which is over. And now you remember, Cointelegraph and Zebec put this together. Ripple, all of these guys are over there. But check this out. They said, we're over here with our friends at Zebec headquarters. Good vibes, great convo, and even better people. Check this out. A chill gathering where we shared partnerships, next steps, talked real world assets, and connected with builders who believe in growing stronger together. Huge potential. So we can already see something that's probably coming out of this partnership with them. But if you look here, guys, look at this shindig right here. They're getting it on. I wish I was over there. And you look here, look, this must be the mansion that they had it at. Man, it looks like a lot of good things that they're talking about over there. But here's the thing. Now, I want to jump back over here, because if you look over here, guys, what we're looking at here, notice they said they're going to have the roadmap and the super app updates, which are coming. Now, this is important because here's the thing. When it comes to decentralized services and people being able to use their crypto in regular everyday settings, due to a lot of the software, some of the tools and different things, we still, not we, but it's still an underserved community, which is why Zebec really exists with their cards and whatnot, because it makes it easier to spend your crypto. But check this out. Their super app, what they have coming is, from what I understand, everything is in that app. Your real-time pay, ways to move money a lot faster. So they've been in development and talking about this for a while now. I remember when they first brought it up in one of the X spaces and everybody was getting hyped about it. I think this is going to be huge when it does come out. From everything I was looking at, they're looking at probably the end of this year, but I'm sure we'll find out here soon with them. Hopefully it's sooner. And I think now with them and their commercial going mainstream, with everyday people, I think, and you guys I always talk about the divide between age ranges and cryptocurrency. You have a lot of Gen Z on one side, and you have a lot of people from 50 and up that are opposed to crypto because they are afraid of it. Well, I think, me personally, my opinion, not financial advice, I just think Zebec is a great investment for me because they look to narrow that gap between the two. Because again, what do Gen Z and these older generation of people have in common? Pay, getting their paychecks, and being able to have your paycheck around the clock 24/7. I don't think anyone can look at that as a scam. Actually, they can look at that as a benefit and a win for them and their families. So I think we have to be ready. And the reason I talked about this right here, guys, the reason I talked about this price is, if you're part of the Grow Rich, Grow Happy community, you already know where I'm going with this. So I'm going to look here because I love doing this. I don't know, I'm addicted to this and how much your money can buy. You can get 32,195 of these right now. Now, if I look at this and I'm looking at the news event coming up next Wednesday, we know this, considering that trip they just had over to France, I think they're still there, but I think they're there all week. But considering that and all of the people that they are talking to, and remember, it's kind of like golfing. This gets done in a leisure setting. Can you imagine the people that was at this event? And Zebec is already larger than life and growing with Circle. Guys, can you imagine what they probably got to tell us on that particular day? Now, regardless if it's what you want to hear that day or not, we do know that it is going to be bullish news, either way you look at it. So I just think we have to be prepared for anything, guys. Now, I know I always use the example of $100, but guess what? You don't have to just use $100. You can use $20. You could buy technically $10 worth of an asset. The point is that you make sure that you get in before news like this coming next week actually happens. And then if it doesn't happen and they don't say the things that you are looking for, like maybe something about Ripple, still, you're in at a great time. Not financial advice, guys, but we have to understand, just because there's no news being put out, they've been quiet, but now that they've already said that they're having a Spaces next week to basically update us, why not prepare for that in advance? And it doesn't take a lot of money. That's just how I deal with things. Now, guys, one more thing I wanted to ask community. Whatever happened to the Zebec Partnership X page? I've been looking for it and I can't find it. It was the page that they used to use to promote all of the new partnerships that they had. It went away. I don't know if it was renamed or what, but I can't find it. You guys let me know down below if you got any, if you know where it's at. With that said,
it's actually pretty interesting. I don't even remember that page. Let me know in the comments if you guys have seen it. ABTM looks like there were two iHoodie videos side by side in the jetpack. You clicked on the left one. The second one is half closed thumbnail on the right. Thank you. Wow. D Wrangler. Let me see if we can find that video. Because, yeah, I've been looking everywhere to try to find the other half of the freaking video, man. This when it got interesting. Okay, you're right. Here's another video here.
Isn't the Zebec network and XRP in a partnership? No, they are absolutely not. Yes, it is true that the Zebec network has approached XRP and has opened up an opportunity to speak with them, but that's all it is right now, is an opportunity to speak. There is no official partnership at this time, if there has even been any talks yet at all. How about Solana Ventures? They also claim to be partnered with Solana Ventures. While Zebec Network is built on Solana, leveraging its speed and its low fees, Gate.com also describes Zebec as a leading Solana-based DeFi protocol. Coverage from Blockchain Magazine confirms Zebec's partnership with Solana Ventures. So this is a big check mark. Yes, they are partnered with Solana Ventures. Okay, how about Stellar Lumens? The Zebec's official X account states our partnership with Stellar Org is crucial as we develop and integrate cross-border remittances. Multiple sources, Chaincatcher, CoinMarketCap, LinkedIn, and Threads mention Zebec's strategic cooperation with Stellar to integrate WageLink. If you see WageLink right here, this is really the tool that's being used to launch compliant sub-services. And of course, you can see here, this is true. Stellar's payment stack is working with Zebec's WageLink mechanism for stablecoin usage. So this is green check marks. They are definitely partnered with Stellar Lumens. Okay, what about Circle? Zebec is a certified member of Circle's Alliance program. That is huge news, and it's confirmed by Circle's official partner directory. And there's lots of information here following that up. So yes, it is 100% true. Circle was one of their original investors in the Zebec network. They do definitely, yes, have a partnership with Circle. And what about JP Morgan? Well, interestingly enough, this one gets a little bit fishy. You see, they claim that JP Morgan is a payments partner and mentions it in their social posts. However, there is zero acknowledgement of this from JP Morgan. There is zero information or articles or mentions from anyone at JP Morgan supporting this at all, just dead silence. And that doesn't mean it's true, but it also doesn't mean it's not true. Maybe JP Morgan just wants to stay silent and not say what they're doing, or maybe it's just an overreach by the protocol saying we hope to have a partnership with JP Morgan, kind of like they hope to have a partnership with XRP, but they don't at this time. So as far as I can see, there is no partnership that is stated with JP Morgan. So this is an overstatement by their part. And what about Visa and MasterCard? Well, the Zebec network launched a Visa debit card, which is basically allowing you to use your crypto in real world via MasterCard or Visa payments. So yes, that does mean that they do have a partnership with MasterCard. Now they have a partnership with MasterCard to launch an actual card. And I believe their partnership with Visa is just an attachment for their own Zebec card. So either way you look at it, yes, they do have close partnerships with both Visa and MasterCard. So at the end of the day, when we put it all together, it turns out that ZBCN is legit. And it turns out that Sam, their founder, does not have any negative things on him at this time, unless they find something in those emails that he was CC'd on That means that he knew something that he shouldn't have known and allowed it to happen. But there's no proof of that yet. So at this time, Zebec Network looks clean as a whistle, with the 2 exceptions of claiming to work with Ripple XRP, which is not true, and claiming to work with JP Morgan, which is not true. But everything else so far checks out clean. So as far as I can see, ZBCN is a solid cryptocurrency with some solid partners and some solid backing. Cryptocurrency is a volatile, new technology space. So when you're investing in it right now, you should be exercising caution anyway. So if you decide to add Zebec Network into your portfolio, remember to do your research, remember to proceed with caution, and remember, cryptocurrency is the way.
So there it is, right? He literally verified it. And nobody said that XRP was in a partnership with Zebec, right? All the postings I saw said they were talking. I didn't see anything where it said they had already partnered. They were already making deals. They were already working together. Only thing I saw was they were talking about becoming a partner. They might be a partner. They were meeting. It didn't say anything. And as far as JP Morgan Chase goes, you can't trust those guys. It's a bank, for crying out loud. And JP Morgan Chase is also creating their own token, from what I hear. So I don't know if they're partnered with him, or if they are in agreements with them, or if they're setting something up. It's hard to tell. So from his deep dive, everything he said checks out, other than the JP Morgan thing that we're not sure about. But so out of 7, I guess 6, maybe 7, I don't know. 1 out of 7 is not bad, or 1 out of 8, or whatever, 6, whatever he said. The only thing that doesn't really check out is the JP Morgan thing. The Ripple XRP thing was not an announcement. It was only rumors and speculation. So let me know what you guys think. I don't want to hold you all day. I just want to get the video out and the live out, because a lot of FUDs coming around from Zebec or Zebec, but there will be a video Wednesday. So expect, I think somebody said that too, it's going to be down today, maybe. It should start doing something tomorrow or Monday. And if there is an announcement for Wednesday, there's generally a lot of buying the day or two before. So there's probably going to be buying on Sunday. If not Sunday, maybe Monday or Tuesday. It's not financial advice. This is just for entertainment purposes. But I do see a pump coming Monday and Tuesday, and a sell-off Wednesday whenever the news is delivered. Or if not a pump Monday and Tuesday, maybe a FOMO pump on Wednesday when they release the news. But this is how crypto works, guys. It's going to drop right before the announcement. These guys are going to buy it up super cheap, right? These whales that sold off are going to buy it dirt cheap and then dump it on Wednesday when the announcement comes and people FOMO in. So this is just kind of the nature of the business. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and hit your main man up with a super chat. If not, we will see you guys on Monday. I generally don't do videos on the weekend, but I had to come back because I didn't do a video yesterday because of the 4th of July. But I did want to settle the waters, keep you guys calm, don't have you panicking or saying BTM left you hanging dry. We are here and we support the ZBCN all the way to 0. Like we support Turbo. We're still here. I just don't make videos because nobody watches the videos anyway. And Caspa, I might do a Caspa video live later, but I wanted to get the Zebec out so you guys aren't panicking and you guys saying there's no support. We are here and we are holding strong. See you guys on Monday. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe and super chat. As always, let's get back to the money, guys. And it's okay to be weird or different, right? Maybe it's not you that's weird or different. Maybe it's everybody else. If you like it, I love it. So let's go and stay dangerous. Miner out.